DWI, where we are your hosts. That's Dude, that's Wax, I'm Ellie. So fellas, let's get straight into it. Here's the whole situation. I didn't think 4 in a row was possible unless it was 4 victories.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? I knew we were going to have some difficulties pulling the 16-1 season off that I suggested at the beginning of the year. But shit happens. Teams come out here with a better plan of action.
Right.
And they become triumphant at the end of the day. So let me ask you this. How was you feeling yesterday?
Man, they looked stupid out there for a 4th game in a row. Like, I wish I could say I was surprised, but I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, just the way we've been looking over the past month and a half is just, it's par for the course at this point.
Right.
We're not that good of a team. We're not as good as I thought we were. And we've proven that over the last couple of weeks.
I mean, I feel you on that because, I felt the same way leading into this last game. I mean, with the last 4 games, I knew they weren't going to be easy games.
Right.
But I kind of counted on at least going 2-2.
Right.
Just for the last 4. Now, let me ask you this, Wax. How was you feeling, man?
Man, literally, I am fucking sick.
Right.
It got me sick to my stomach. And I'm not just saying that in a way that I'm just tired of watching these guys play, but physically sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys crapped the bed yesterday. Like you said, I thought we should at least went 2-2.
Right.
Maybe 1-3, but to drop all 4 is just unacceptable, man.
Right.
It is absolutely unacceptable.
Now, I know last week we came off a little abrasive as far as report card for the coaches and whatnot, but I'm really starting to think that the situation could have been avoided with better preparation. And who does that come from, fellas? Does it come from the players?
A little bit then, but like you said last week, it goes all the way to the top.
Right.
Because this is a trend in for Mike Tomlin the last 6 or 7 years. Even if you want to go further back than that, but this is a trend where we fall short at the end of the season, and it used to be the opposite. Way back, it used to be we might start off slow, and then towards the end of the year we find our groove. But it seems like now we find our groove a little bit early, and then as soon as we get a little bit of success, it's like they don't know how to handle success, and they just fall back into stupid stuff.
Here's why I'm saying that. It's because there's been a lot of things that happened this season that I can see that the players, they had time to adjust. They had time to, gather the cohesiveness and the camaraderie that should be amongst a team that's 17 games deep.
Right.
You know what you're getting out of each person that's beside you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if people are coming for your coach, and I mean that in a crazy, all right, your coach is not the guy we thought he was. If they're speaking on behalf of the coach, as a player, you would want to stick up for your coach. How? Not by saying, man, coach is a swell guy, or coach is this, that, and the other. In your performance.
Right.
If you don't want nobody talking about the guy that represents you guys as a whole, change that narrative for that man.
Right.
If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for him.
Right.
Because he believes in the people that he got out there so much and so that he hasn't made any adjustments. He hadn't put Fields in. We've been calling for Fields for the last 3 games, y'all.
Right. At least a little bit of him. You know what I mean? At least a few snaps a game.
Yeah. I mean, you got him there. Why not use him?
Right.
You're not hurting anything by keeping him, out of the action except what he could have potentially did.
Right.
Now there's a bunch of asterisks and question marks above our heads. You think Fields could have came in and made any type of adjustments?
I know he could have.
And that's what I mean. You know what I mean, Wax?
Especially on the 3rd and 4th and 1 where we couldn't get 1 yard.
Right.
That was disturbing to see. And I also feel like we're not ready for the spotlight. Anytime somebody shines a spotlight on us, we fail miserably.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because we are full of ourselves or we start to believe the hype but not play up to it. Like anytime somebody, like, that's why I like flying under the radar.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we start getting it on the roll. But like, as of right now, man, like, this is pitiful. This is absolutely pitiful.
Right. Let me ask you this, Wax. Did you see this coming from the beginning of the season? Did you see us being in this position?
No, because truth be told, like, from one point, like, you know, we have one of the toughest schedules in the league, period.
Right.
And I knew we were going to drop a couple games and so on and so forth. But like, after they started winning, and like, you know, from the beginning to the middle, I'm like, man, we might be able to turn this around. And I started to believe that. But like, after like the last couple of losses, man, like, you know, I'm not sure of this team.
Now, dude, some would say, with the type of schedule that we had going into the season, we didn't do too shabby. Finishing, 10-7.
Right. I mean, that's kind of where I had us. I think I had us going 10-7 or 11-6 at the beginning of the season. So I knew this last stretch was going to be hard. But like you said, we should have been able to win a couple of those. Maybe one. At least one. Yeah, at least Cincinnati. Like, if you can't come out here and beat an 8-8 team. Now, granted, they have a killer offense, but their offense, we kind of shut them down a little bit.
And I didn't mean to cut you off, but they didn't have Higgins for the second half.
Right. So we kind of shut them down, but then our offense is just so bad. I'm so tired of watching a bad offense. They're so predictable. Like, Arthur Smith is not that much better than Matt Canada at this point. And that shit is crazy to me because it's like he's so predictable. They refuse to stop tossing the ball. The play just doesn't work, and they just keep doing it 3 or 4 times a game. It drives me crazy.
What were those stats you was looking up earlier as far as Matt Canada's offense and Arthur Smith's offense?
Steelers EPA, estimated play per average on the rush. Last year we were 12th. This year we're 27th. The Steelers rush success rate. Last year we were 9th in the league. This year we're 28th.
Well, what does that say?
It says we ain't running the ball good. And then another one is Steelers percentage of offensive plays that generate a positive play. Last year we were 42%. This year we're 41%. So all in all, the offense isn't better than Matt Canada's offense.
Yeah, so Matt Canada got the last laugh.
Oh, that motherfucker's at the crib like, y'all laughed at me. Mm-hmm. Y'all wanted me out. You could suck my beanbag right now. Suck this Canada dick. And have some Canada dry, motherfuckers. Like, damn.
So, yeah, like, we're predictable in a completely different way than we were last year, but still the same predictability, where it's like last year you knew we were running a jet sweep. This year you know we're running a toss.
Uh-huh.
And they continue to do it.
And it's not even like when the toss actually works, we're gaining big yards on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, like, even if we do get 1 or 2 yards, that's not a win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As long as we didn't get a negative.
That's how they're looking at it.
Right.
But, like, I feel like this is why I always say their loyalty gets in the way. Like,
right.
I mean, and that goes from who's out there, what plays we call, who we decide to keep, who we decide to trade, who we decide to start.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, our loyalty is always going to kill us until we make some changes,
right.
man.
Until they start realizing this shit is a business, man. You can be loyal to a certain extent, but at the same time, when that dude ain't out there producing, man, fuck loyalty. He's supposed to be loyal to himself and produce.
So basically what you're saying is loyalty does not always equal longevity.
Not in Steeler football.
Right.
It doesn't. I mean, it produces longevity with bad product.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you got years worth of bullshit coming if you don't make adjustments.
And
is what
do
you're
something.
saying.
Right. Because, like, we have yet
sense.
to make a dent in the playoffs in how many years?
It's been, I think, since 2016 is the last time we won a playoff game. 2015, I think.
But speaking about making a dent, you know what they need to do, don't you?
What's that?
Shit, they need to make a dent in the fucking subscription section.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do 3 things, Wes.
And tell them
That's
what that is.
share, like, subscribe, and do what you want them to do.
Get in that comment section. Let us know how mad you are about this bullshit we watching.
We finished 0-4 the last 4 games, bro. That's just total bullshit.
Right, we were 10-3 and it ended up 10-7.
Do you feel like this? And this is a question to you both. And you can answer it in any order. It's not one of those type of questions because it's a sidebar. But do you feel like them knowing that we was going to finish 5th seed, either way you slice it? Because, I mean, there's a couple things that have to happen, but chances are we're still going to be 5th seed. Do you think that had a little bit to do with how good they were going to play, being that they started everybody?
It maybe, but it shouldn't have, because we can still drop to the 6th seed and play the Ravens. Certain things happen this week or today or Sunday, then we can drop to the 6th seed and have to play the Ravens. Or if we stay the 5th seed, we'll play the Texans, which is an easier win. But truthfully, I don't have faith that we beat the Texans at this point, man. I really don't. Like we have a better chance of beating them than the Ravens, I think. But at the way we're playing right now, we can't score touchdowns.
Right.
So it doesn't matter who we play. We could play the Jets again, and Aaron Rodgers will eat us up.
Right.
So go ahead, Wag. What do you think?
I feel the same way, man. Like I feel like, being at 5th seed, like which we need to be at, because I don't want to face the Ravens right now because they're clicking on all cylinders.
Right.
At 5th seed, we have a chance to boost our morale, beat the Houston Texans, and go from there,
right,
game to game. But like, we have to change something up right now.
Right.
Like, we have to do something different because this shit ain't working. And like, I always want to give them excuses because we had a tough schedule and shit, and I know that's the theme. But like, we also got to play too. Like, we can't come out here and just try to muck the game up. We have to actually put points on the board and score.
Right. Hey, who was y'all's biggest disappointment this last stretch? Who disappointed you the most?
Let me go first on this, Wags. I'd say Russ.
Yeah.
It's a double dipper. I mean, you guys always give Harris a lot of fucking flack, but I see why. So I'd say if I could add both Russell and Harris,
right,
they really let me down these last couple of games because they, like Wax said, they started off on fucking fire. Last time we played Cincy, Russ had a 400-yard game.
Right.
It was back to old Russ,
right,
as far as I was concerned. Mm-hmm. I want to say Najee may have had a buck in that game. Like, when your offense is clicking, it's clicking. So if Wilson had 400, I can bet you $1 million that Harris had a buck.
Right.
Because that means your offense is just going the way it's supposed to go.
Right.
Yeah.
But, what the fuck? What happened to you, Regis? What happened in the last couple of weeks that's changed from that offense I seen out there that day?
Right.
Listen, I'm going to go with George Pickens, man. That's who let me down the most out of this whole ordeal. And I've been riding with him since he was a rookie. I'm like, man, he's somebody to watch. Right. He's going to be our big playmaker, and he has yet to mature and to actually be the star receiver that we need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's more of a liability out there than he is a positive. Like,
right.
And I'm not sure if I want him back. Like, honestly. I mean, I know that would be a detriment to our offense, but, like, I feel like we should probably destroy and rebuild.
Right.
How about you?
See, I agree with both of y'all. I've picked one of y'all, one of the people y'all picked, but to be different, I'm going to say the offensive line, specifically the tackles, because both of the tackles, Jones and Moore, have been just stinking up the joint, and that's leading to a lot of the bullshit with Russ and with Harris. So it's like, they got to clean that up. I don't, and it's probably too late. Maybe you're just not good enough to clean it up. But like, the offensive line for me is the one that's been most disappointing.
Yeah.
So as a whole, that pretty much makes
the whole offense. The offense, I want to throw Arthur Smith out there too because he's been disappointing.
He's gonna be, whoa, get off me! How do I get out here?
Right, because his play calling hasn't helped a fucking thing either.
It hasn't.
And it's just been all around just a disappointment. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he's easy to play against. Like me, with
right.
the only level of coaching I've been on, the highest level is high school.
Right.
But I can guarantee I get out there and get that motherfucker a run for his money. As soon as he lines up, I'm gonna be like, oh, and you're running this?
Right.
Do you want to do this?
Right.
Just for the simple fact that, like, y'all both been saying it since, I'd say, week 7, week 8. Switch the shit up.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, man, we're too predictable. I feel like you really would give him a run for his money.
Right.
And at the same time, we have weapons on our offense that we're not utilizing.
Right.
Properly.
We still have a backup quarterback that I guarantee would have got that first down. We have a tight end that we're not hitting. We're just using him to block most of the time.
Yeah.
And he's not good at it.
Right. Like, I feel like he would help us out if they threw him the ball a couple more times, but that's just me.
He'd be a primary target for me.
One of them.
He's fucking huge,
That's
man.
what I'm saying.
What do they call him, dude? Mount Washington?
Yeah, you talking
What
about
the
him?
fuck?
Him and Fryburg.
I knew that's who you was talking about. He's talking about the big fella, man.
Right.
Toss that bitch up and make him go for it.
Right.
And land on somebody.
Right.
That motherfucker catch that bitch and land on one of them DBs.
Right. You see what happened when they tried to throw it to him in this game?
They had to pass interference.
Yeah, they had to interfere with him. So it's like, why is that the only pass that he gets all game? Like, throw that pass multiple times a game.
See, this is just my thought, though. Like, they're seeing something that we're not seeing throughout practice. Or maybe they would be throwing it, and I'm just trying to make excuses for them because, like, there's no reason we shouldn't be using him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so maybe he's just not performing like he should be, and they don't want to, like, reward him with the ball if he sucks in practice or some shit. It's something. It is definitely something.
I feel like I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's fixed. It's fixed because, like, if we can see it, they at home can see it. And they're not making any adjustments, and these people get paid to put people in place to make them plays. That means it's supposed to happen like this. And that takes a lot of fun out of it because, like, at this point, now we're cheering for something that we know is inevitably not the truth.
I disagree. I don't think it's fixed. I just think they're just bad at their jobs. That's the more logical thing is just somebody's just bad at their gig.
It would be if you didn't believe in those theories.
What
is that shit called?
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, conspiracy theories. So I hear a lot of stuff on the internet about, games and hoops and all that shit being rigged.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
And it's been known to happen in every major sport, so it's not, like, very far-fetched, but as far as us being cheated against, like, that's kind of not... Yeah, I mean, it seems fucked up, but, like, we're just not that team. Like, I feel like you could have a better argument with the Chiefs, them cheating for the Chiefs, but, like, cheating against us, I don't understand why.
But do you know, not even cheating against us, like, you can't be a smart man if you're not utilizing that big motherfucker.
He just might not be a smart man.
Come on, man.
He might not be a smart man, I guess.
He's on the team, he's playing, he's starting. Throw a little fucking 5-yard hitch to that nigga every time you get a chance to.
I mean, even if he isn't the fastest, he's taller than everybody out there. Like, he's bigger than everybody out there.
It's like having the Incredible Hulk in pads and not throwing to him.
Right.
Like, throw to the Incredible Hulk. He's going to get...
Right. Wanting him to change the Bruce Banner. Like, no.
Like, we need more Bruce out of you, baby. Hulky, baby. Hulky. Can you come down the green? Less green guy and more Bruce.
He's the smart Hulk out there.
Nah, fuck out of here, man.
He's the smart Hulk.
Let him be the Hulk.
He's not, like, going to get mad. He's going to try to beat you with science and shit. Like,
and here's the thing. If I was out that motherfucker, I'd throw that bitch just like this. Bloop. Throw that motherfucker right up in the air just so he can just play fucking... give me that ball. Boop, boop, get out there. I made all type of shit happen just now.
Man, what they need to do is send his ass to some top receivers that retired, like to one of their camps.
Right.
You know
Washington.
what I mean? Yeah, like send him to Jerry Rice for like a month or somebody that gets his route running and his, you know what I mean?
Or Gronk.
Something. Yeah, Gronk would even be, well, I wouldn't say even better, but like they play the same position.
Shit, man, Gronk had that motherfucker having an excellent weekend that weekend. They wouldn't get no football done.
Like,
that motherfucker be out there.
Oh.
Yeah, shout out to Gronk, man. Yeah, I mean, them motherfuckers be out there having a ball out there, man.
Party balls.
Hell yeah. I got some routes I can have you run. Nose route? Nah. But, On some real shit though. I mean, they do need to get that motherfucker, like, get him a good coach that's gonna be able to teach him the shit that he needs to learn, because
Fundamentals.
Right.
that's all you gotta do is just teach that big motherfucker. The rest of it will work itself out. Then you got somebody that's fast like George Pickens. Then you got somebody that's elusive like Calvin Austin III.
Right.
Like, you got pieces. That's why I say don't draft. Just hook up the pieces that you got and put them in good places to make the plays.
But they
Arthur Smith.
They got to make the plays too, because there was plays to be had by all of them, and they all fucked up.
In George Pickens' defense, he was eating popcorn. I told y'all motherfuckers, man. That motherfucker was like, blip,
He
blop,
needs to
blip.
switch it to something else, because that shit's not working. And in my opinion, we should not be drafting these 5'9" receivers, because they're not working for us like they work for other teams.
Right.
We need motherfuckers that's going to go get it and not be afraid to get hit.
So what you're saying is draft a team full of Megatrons?
No, not even that tall. Like, I mean, they don't even have to be that tall. But, like, we need some receivers, some real receivers.
Like Higgins and Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I said Cash.
Even if they're, like, not as good. Just
Right.
somebody that's, you know he's going to come down with the football.
Right.
When they throw it to Austin and, what's the other little short dude's name? I forget his name.
Elliott?
No, I forget his name. Jefferson.
He's old. He's actually not small. He's just old. He's old and slow.
What you saying, he's shrunk?
No, he's just old and he's just not good anymore.
He was like, when I started the team, I was 6'3".
But I think he's probably he might be like 6'1". I mean, he's not the tallest, but he's not like little like. But go ahead, my bad.
I just like, we need some real receivers. Even Mike Williams.
I was just good.
No, he's just not performing like I thought he was going to perform.
Right.
He had the best catch of the night.
Yeah, one.
That motherfucker, they only threw it to him like once.
Why is that?
Because dude said it, they're not that bright.
Or maybe he's just not performing in practice.
My God, if you're making them type of catches in a game, fuck what you do in practice right now. I ain't got time to penalize you. I have you do up downs or some dumb shit tomorrow, or something that's going to be beneficial to their fucking, growth and development.
But I think it's just like a cycle of bad quarterback play from Russ, because Russ won't go over the middle of the field, but at the same time, Arthur Smith doesn't call anything over the middle of the field. And it's like all we got is either the deep pass, and that's it. That's the only time Russ ever looks good, is when he throws a deep ball. And like, all teams got to do is stop that, and then we look like shit. Like, think about it. The first couple of games, they didn't know Russ had that, so he was killing them. As soon as they was like, let's just shade a guy over here and shade another guy over to the other side, we look like shit ever since.
Yeah. And that's when we're supposed to hit them in the middle.
Right.
You're 100% right, though. But here's my thing. You got the receivers to do it. Russ, it's almost like he can only see that deep threat. And to add on to what you were saying, it's because we have athletic enough receivers able to adjust to that moon ball that he's throwing, that you was always talking about. Like here you say he's that deep threat.
Right.
We have talented enough receivers to be able to adjust to make that catch. Everybody can't make that catch.
True.
You dig what I'm saying? So, like, I don't feel like we can go out and draft any other receivers that's going to be, I feel like our receivers are just as good as anybody we can go out there and get. I truly do.
I disagree.
We got the
with that.
speed. We got the big, we got the speed. We got the guys that are,
Because if that was the truth, they would produce more. Because our run game ain't
I think it's Russ.
Ain't
I think it's Russ, man. That motherfucker's holding on to the ball too much, and like he's not thinking logically.
This is the thing, and I usually won't stick up for Russ, but he doesn't have time. He's like dropping back, and he's already panicking and shit. I mean, and that's rare because somebody's not. Listen, our line doesn't block like they used to. And I mean, maybe it's because they're new and they're still trying to mold, which they should have already had that shit already, but like our line, there's always a weak link on our line.
Right.
And that's not giving him enough time to scan the field or some shit, and his reaction time sucks.
Right.
As far as like, all right, somebody's blitzing, and like he always looks like a deer in headlights whenever he sees somebody breaking through the line. He's like, and now I'm gonna run. You know what I mean? I beg to
I just don't see it that way. I don't see the line collapsing like that. It always collapses from the outside. But did we not put pressure on Burrows last night, and he was able to adjust to the Burrow when the pocket collapsed? Right. That motherfucker skedaddled and got straight through the line and was able to make some shit happen to his tight. Like, come on, man.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you.
Russ was fucking up last night, y'all.
Russ ain't the guy. The offensive line ain't.
He's too little.
Russ, yeah, I said Russ not the guy. The offensive line isn't helping him be any more than he can be, and the receivers aren't really getting open either. So it's like on all three levels, we just stink on offense. Then you add the running game in, and it's like we just stink all around on offense. Like I don't know who's the major fault of it, but you know a good quarterback can mitigate some of that shit. And I don't
some of it, not all of it.
Yeah, no, definitely not all of it, but a good quarterback, like you said, what Burrow was doing, like their line wasn't blocking for him that good, but he was figuring out a way, and that's play calling nice little dump offs, nice little crossing routes. Yeah, over the middle. He was killing us over the middle. We don't do any of that. So it's like it's a different levels of our failures, but we have a failure at each level. So it's like, damn, like how do you adjust to just being mediocre at every level? Other than scrap the shit and start over, apparently.
All right, well, listen. Man, nigga, you know this is my favorite part of the show, but, you know, it's changed a little bit because the way we've been playing. So, like, for the last 4 weeks, it doesn't give me much energy to move forward with my prediction.
Right.
You know, playing Baltimore, nigga, we fucking played them. We beat them. We had their number. Matter of fact, yeah, it's still the same. I think he's trying to get a new one, but I got people. Oh, you got, okay. Yeah, he just confirmed it. He got his number back because he did change it, so he got his new number.
Right.
But we played the motherfucker the first game. We beat him. The second game, they more or less was like, that's why they call us the Ravens, the Dirty Birds. The boy Henry got loose. He does what he does, but we got something for him this game, Wax. We got something for that nigga this game. They told me. I talked to Herbig the other day, man. We got something for him.
Can I give my prediction before, you know what I mean?
By all means.
I'm going to go 28-17 them.
Shit.
Because they're lighting the boards up. They're whooping ass right now, and they found their groove. And we're on a slide.
Right.
And I don't feel like we have enough to contend with them, especially with major pieces of our pie not playing up to par.
Right.
So I feel like they win, and we're not gonna make. We're going home. Is basically what I'm thinking.
All right. Let me go, and then I'll let you jump off.
I don't even want to jump off. I just want to ask you both before you go. Do you feel like by that loss with Cincinnati last night got us in this position? Because we were waiting on teams to lose and all these other things to happen.
Yeah, we win that one. We're not here right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I mean, we were relying on motherfuckers to beat teams and shit, and it didn't happen. So now we got to play Baltimore.
Right. And if we would have won that last one, right, we might have had a little momentum. That they can, you know how when you're shooting free throws or when you're shooting jumpers, you see one go in, you're like, oh shit, all right, you know what I mean. You see another one go in, it's like, okay, I'm there now. I'm back to where I was after you got in a shooting slump.
Yeah.
We're still in that shooting slump, and it's the playoffs ain't the time to break out of a shooting slump.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, as far as my prediction, I'm gonna go probably 24-13 them, Baltimore.
And like as far as my prediction, I'm predicting that the Red Fox, aka Sanford, Fred G. Sanford, is gonna come out of me because I'm getting ready to hit both you jokers in the damn lip. I promise that shit, man, because like I'm gonna hone in on my inner Fred G. Sanford when this shit's all said and done, because there ain't no fucking way I'm having the dirtiest of birds even getting the same playground with us. So my predictions aren't the same, fellas. And then I promise you, by the time this airs, the results of this, I'm gonna be playing They Ain't Like Us, and I'm gonna be talking to both of y'all.
But and then after the second quarter, you're gonna be like, "I'm coming to you, baby, Elizabeth. I'm on my way," because they're gonna definitely hurt your feelings, man.
He made it look enticing and shit. Like, order some Dominoes, Elizabeth. I'm coming. Like she gonna be having Dominoes and those little sticky buns and shit up there waiting on me and shit. Like, oh shit, I'm glad I made it, Elizabeth.
With a cold glass of Ripple.
Right. You gotta have that Ripple. Wax.
Or some champagne.
Put that in champagne, nigga. You know what it is.
That champagne.
That's that champagne.
Well, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna say, and we gonna play this game. It's gonna be a fucking bruising fest, but we got that fucking number of Lamar Jackson, and somebody, I ain't gonna tell y'all, but somebody gave me motherfucking what's his name number 22?
Henry?
Yeah, I got Henry's number. It was hell to get it, but I made sure that our people in the back sent a call out, or it was a text message.
All right.
Saying that, you didn't slid down a razor blade and landed in the alcohol river.
Well, on game day, call that nigga at 3 a.m. and just keep harassing him. Keep him up. Because
who is this offering me a free chicken platter? But nah, man, it's going to be a fucking shootout. We going to block one of them kicks. I mean, it's going to be so high octane, 21-13 us.
All right.
We're going to block one of them field goals because they're going to score. Like, it's hard to contain Henry, but he's not going to be the reason for the season. We got to worry about Flowers.
And let me also say, I like when you were in Narnia because it gave us more to, like, root for you to stay there. You know what I mean? Because every time we win, you'd be in Narnia with your feet kicked up and shit. So, hopefully we can send you back. Man.
My ankles right now, I feel the effects of jumping out of that window.
This gout.
It
gout
is gout.
kicking in.
But I was led.
All that Narnonian ale.
But here's the thing, it went to my ankles, and that's why I never felt anything, because it felt like I was landing on cushions. But I will say this. It's hard to be able to put myself in that mind state because I've been watching a bunch of fuckery out there, y'all.
Yeah.
It's not the Steelers that I'm used to seeing. It's not the team that I knew that was going to lead us into triumphancy this later off into the at this point into the season.
Right.
So it is what it is, fellas. I'm calling for the victory.
I hope you're right.
Y'all hear it out there. Y'all see it, man. Y'all pass this along, man. Where the fuck is my dogs at, man? Where the hell? Listen, 50. Number 50.
Listen, George Pickens got to get his head out of his ass for that shit to happen.
It's gonna happen.
He has not done enough to be shortchanging us, man.
Right.
Like that NFL young boy persona is failing miserably.
That shit's getting old.
That shit. I mean, like this motherfucker had one catch for maybe -1 yards, but like stats show he has no yards.
Right.
So. It was a wasted pass to him.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
And like 4 drops.
He getting ready to get his shit together. That was his game to make sure his shit. You hear it, youngin? These cats right here, they calling you out, man. So back in my day, that shit meant something. Gut check, little homie.
What would Glorilla think, man? Shit, Glorilla. She came to Pittsburgh with him one time.
Oh, yeah. And if you plan on getting a little, getting up and close and personal, she ain't playing with no suckers.
Yeah, hell no.
So you better bring your A game. But I got confidence in my boys, man.
He probably like Ja Rule and Fast and Furious. Like, what was the chick's name that he screamed?
Monica!
Menage!
But nah, man. Y'all motherfuckers is rough. But here's the thing. If these two are right, we got to sign off, and I'm not ready to end my season.
I'm not either, man, but
either.
I can't do too much more of this losing shit the way we're losing. I can understand if we was battling back and shit, but like we lose throughout the whole game and then try to scramble to win. Like that shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. It's gonna get us what we got.
If we overpower Baltimore, sky's the limit. I'm not worried about Philly. I'm not worried about Kansas
So let me ask
City.
you a question. What's it going to take to beat Baltimore? Like, what changes need to be made for us to beat Baltimore this time?
I feel like our whole offensive scheme needs to be scrapped from like the last previous games.
Yeah, but that ain't going to happen now.
You asked me what we need to see. So we need to see a lot more activeness out of that offensive line. Number 66 and 67. on each side of that line of the center. Them two motherfuckers got to play like they ain't never played before in their life.
Right.
They have to be working on all cylinders. Najee, this might be his last game in the black and
I
yellow.
hope so. I mean, I hate to be that dude, but I can't wait till they ship him off to like Seattle or somewhere.
Najee.
Or the Raiders.
Let them the motherfuckers know what they
Bro,
could be missing out on. Let them know. Have 200 plus yards. Najee can do that.
1,000 like 44 yards or something.
He might finish with 1,200. You never know. Jalen Warren could have a great game. I'm just saying what I feel.
Cut that out.
Big Mount Washington, you utilize him. You utilize Calvin Austin III. You utilize Pickens in the right way. You run some slants out there. Slant them to death. And then when it comes to defense, you have to make sure that you keep a fucking, like a heavy presence felt up front.
But, so in other words...
Like, you can't, though. You can't do that with them.
Can.
Because then they'll chew you apart with Flowers or Bateman or somebody else.
But we have JPJR back.
Listen.
And then listen, Corey needs some help over there. So when they're running that zone, that man over top, he has to be more present. So that's normally Fitzpatrick.
Our defense is basically keep everybody in front of you. We'll worry about it once we get down to like the 10, the 20, the red zone. Then we start tightening up. That's why every quarterback picks us apart, because they're playing like 5 yards off the man. I mean, maybe not, but that's what it seems like, because somebody's always open. Somebody is always open. And then they start tightening up towards the red zone.
Right.
Why not play a defense where we're running man-to-man, but we have shadows or something to switch it up a little bit, discourage their offense.
One thing I saw that they did this week was they actually finally started to blitz, because we haven't been blitzing all year. So they finally started blitzing this week, and I hope they continue that. Mm-hmm. To blitz, blitz, send some dogs after.
That's what I mean, and that's how you can contain the run from Jackson,
right?
And him sitting back picking us apart because he has constant pressure.
Right.
That at that point now that discourages the run, because you see all that pressure coming. You can't run with Lamar Jackson, and you can't have Derrick Henry running amok, because now he's contained.
I think it's easier said than done.
It is, but
you can't contain Lamar Jackson.
We've done it. We've done it.
Contain him.
Out of 7 games that we played, they won 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we haven't beaten them, but I'm saying you can't contain that dude. That's why he's the best.
He's going to have to be
of the best right now.
I don't see it like offensively. You're asking them to do something that they haven't done all year, and I don't see that being a thing that they can do. I just think we're who we're going to be. Now, one thing I would like them to see them do, because it seems like when we do this, we have a little bit more success whenever they go up tempo. Whenever they go up tempo and let Russ just get in there and call the play at the line or have a couple of set plays, we seem to do better with that. Whenever we take the whole clock and line up and it's all slow and then they toss the shit, that's when we start to stink it up. We start thinking too much. Let them go.
I got y'all. Hey, y'all out there, I need y'all to do me a favor. I'm one of their DWI. They call me Illy. I need you to pass this message along. I need you to pass, how they do, share this episode to every Steeler fan out there. And we just need y'all to show up in Baltimore with that black and gold on, going with them terrible towels. If y'all staying home, bring that energy in front of your TV sets. Okay, let's bring that fucking noise. That way we can make these motherfuckers look like you know who and you know what. Because at the end of the day, I'm always right.
Hey, one, you're going to get a bunch of our fans stabbed in Baltimore. 2, there's going to be a bunch of Steeler fans with broken TVs with all the energy that they produce at home. They're going to punch the shit out of their TV. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Y'all hear this negative now?
Y'all watch your back. Don't go to Baltimore fucking with them people.
Good people.
Even if we're at home watching it on their TV, channel and muster up that energy, that Steeler love, and let's get this win. Now, I will say this. This part hurts more than any part that we've talked about in this episode altogether. You know what that is, Wax?
What's that?
All good things must come to an end. Mm. We've given you the best that we got this season. So, we hope that we've been to you what you've been to us. and that's enjoyment. So we thank you all for coming on this journey. Please continue to come with us on this journey as we go out throughout Steelers season,
Right,
and try to get this 7th ring. So with that being said, we came, we saw, we delivered. Now, we are going to come back, same time, same location, different material. Peace.
Peace.